next, I will give the floor to Stefano Bergamasco. Stefano, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Kaliroy, and thanks to everyone, all the participants today, the faculty. I would like to start with a special thanks to one of our founding members, Professor Said Khalil, who is chairing the education committee that is promoting this series of webinars that we are starting here today. So I will talk about trying to answer the question, why did AIIC, the Italian Clinical Engineers Association, join GCEA? It's not to tell you about Italy. It's not because we feel leading the way or something. We want today to contribute with our experience to other societies that are now considering joining the Alliance. So we will bring you the reasons why we thought it was a good idea to join now this new organization, and with this it could be helpful also for others. So a couple of slides just to give you some background. Our national association was founded in 1993, so we are almost 30 years old, and we have the, I would say, usual goals of clinical engineering societies across the world: dissemination of knowledge, advancement of scientific, technical, and organizational knowledge in clinical engineering, protecting our professional figure of the clinical engineer, and promoting clinical engineering services inside hospitals. So I think these are quite common goals for also other societies that can identify themselves in this same line of objectives. We have 6 board members and 30 regional delegates. Next one. In terms of our membership, we are growing. And this is one also of the goals that we have and that many societies have, to grow not for the sake of numbers, but to have a stronger voice when we talk with others, local politicians, other healthcare professions, and so on. And this is the same, this will be the same also for the Alliance. Growing is important, not for the sake of growth in itself, but because you are more credible and representative of a profession. Next one. Well, a couple of years ago, we made a kind of an identity of our profession, checking the membership composition. A couple of interesting facts. Men and women is quite well balanced, but if we go to the age split, we see that young members are mostly female. And this is true, we have seen here in Italy at least, and maybe it's true also in other countries, for most healthcare professions. So there is a growing more equity in the split between men and women in the profession, and also in terms of geographical distribution and the area of activity. So we feel that there is a good balance in the composition of our national society, and probably is the same experience for many others. Next one. We have organized our association with a number of committees. This can be true for many. I would only like here to emphasize that since a few years now, we also have a specific committee that is dedicated to international activities and relationships. So since quite a number of years now, our society has felt the need to get in touch with other professionals in other countries to share experiences and be in a network. Next one. We have some strategic goals. Of course, we do a lot of things, but we have a limited numbers of important strategic goals that are partnership with other professions, with the universities, with the industry, with the political institutions, and so on. We have a goal for professional development, webinars, training courses, congress, and so on, professional recognition, research and data analysis, and growth of the association. The reason I'm listing these goals is because I will show you later now in a few minutes how these are clearly aligned with the strategic goals of the Global Clinical Engineering Alliance. So we feel really to be in line with the message that Yadin was presenting early on this afternoon. Next one. We are also very much, as I said, involved with international activities. We are affiliated to IFMB since many years now, and we have 2 CD board members and 8 CD collaborators. We are affiliated to EAMBES in Europe, and now with the Global Clinical Engineering Alliance. We are also promoting the creation of a European Clinical Engineering Federation. Some may ask, and we'll try to answer this today, among other things, why the need for a new entity dedicated to clinical engineering when there is already international networks like the CD in IFMB, for example? Well, this is the same here in Europe. There's already a network of association and individuals that is called EAMBES, but we feel a strong need for something that is more focused and representative of the clinical engineering profession. Otherwise, we risk not to have a clear voice in health technology management. And here you can see other activities that our society is doing in international relationships. And we still remind the 3rd International Clinical Engineering and Health Technology Management Congress that we had in Rome 2 years ago. It was very successful and a great opportunity to know in person many colleagues and new friends. And we wish this event to grow. Next month, we will have it online because of the current difficult situation. But after that, we'll have it again in person. It's important to meet, to talk with people, to share experiences together. Next one. So, as I said, if you go to the GCEA website, as Kaliroy was mentioning, there's in the homepage the reasons why was this alliance created. And here is the bullet points. And as you can read, these goals are totally aligned with the strategic goals that we feel urgent in Italy, and not only in Italy. In the next one, please, we'll see that these same goals are shared at least at the regional level across Europe. 2 days ago, we had a session during a congress where a significant number of national societies across Europe, you can see here it was ourselves as Italy, France, Germany, Spain, Ireland, Holland, Greece, and Bosnia and Herzegovina, discussed about the experiences of this COVID-19 period, the difficulties and the lessons learned in clinical engineering, sharing the vision that there are some shared needs and the need for international relationships. I put some bullet points out of the notes I took during the meeting 2 days ago. The recognition of the clinical engineering profession, providing support to each other, exchanging knowledge, standardization and dissemination of maintenance and regulatory guidelines. The voice of clinical engineers to be heard by hospital administrations, politicians, and also the general public. Increased lobbying and legislation for clinical engineering. An interesting point, the need to fight disinformation with science and knowledge, and they need to improve collaboration at local, national, and international levels. All these things clearly emerged during the meeting, and next slide, as I said, they are aligned with the goals of GCEA. So, as Italy, we joined, we are one of the first affiliated organizations, and we completed the process of joining the Alliance in September. And I have to say, as a bonus message, that the registration process was really easy. You go to the Alliance website and click on membership. There's an easy registration form and a really quick process, and we got quick response from the Alliance Secretariat, and it was straightforward. Not really nothing more than feeding a couple of information and to join. It's really an easy and straightforward process. Next one. There's another point I would like to stress here, and I'm going towards the conclusions. At least for our experience, we feel that not only we will benefit from the Alliance membership, we feel a need also to contribute. We feel to have the resources. We have a lot of active members. We have an international committee, experience in international relationships. So we feel a need to also contribute, because this goes to the benefit of all members' organizations. So at the end of the day, also to ourselves. And taking the words of President Kennedy, ask not what your country can do for you, ask what you can do for your country. So this can seem like a naive message, but it's not. We feel that we will get from being a member of GCEA, but we feel also that we can give. Next one. And so, as a final slide, I'd like to close with a call for action, because otherwise, yes, it's nice. We talk a lot, we share experience on, but what's next? So my call for action for all the people that are listening to this webinar is to consider joining now. Go talk with your president, with the board of your association, and join now. There's no need really to consider so much. Of course, it must be a thoughtful decision, but if you feel that it's a good step to take it now. One of the reasons is that even though the principles of the Alliance are strong and solid, we need membership to be seriously considered and to start operating in effective ways in terms of governance of the Alliance, of activities that we can do. We need to have members and feeling that this is really a global effort and not just a visionary thought of a bunch of senior engineers that think that this is good. So my invitation is to join now. Please consider that no special efforts are required. I have my job, Yadin, Tom, everyone is very busy people, so there is no specific requirement. It's all voluntary work. So if you in person or your society can contribute a lot with speaking webinars, working groups and so on, that's perfect. If not, it's good anyway. Just being part of the Alliance is a first important step. It's all voluntary work. No special efforts are required. And final message is that we can work at both levels. A regional level, we are promoting together with the other national societies that I mentioned before, a European Clinical Engineering Federation. But this is not in contrast with working at global level. It's not a matter of priority. We need to focus on the regional level, so we don't have time to think at the global level. The two things can go together. The general goals are perfectly aligned, even though specific objectives and strategies can be different, but the general goals are aligned. So the Global Alliance can also give strength to regional federations and national societies. This was what I really wanted to tell you about our experience, and the final call for action I feel really to give to every one of you. So next one, I close thanking you all and wishing to see you getting membership to the Alliance and start working together with us in the working groups for the benefit of the global clinical engineering. Thank you all.
Thank you, Stefano, for your wonderful presentation and mainly for your call for action. Thank you.